Aitah for wanting to break up with my boyfriend after seeing the engagement ring. My name is Mia and I'm 26, a whirlwind of a woman juggling 3 kids, one being from my previous marriage. I have a complicated relationship with Alex, 32. We've been together for 4 years. We've broken up and made up more times than I care to admit. But lately, things have been almost idyllic. We'd found a rhythm, a sense of peace that had been missing for so long. We've even started those late-night whispered conversations about the future, about making things official. We talked about weddings, the kind of intimate backyard affair we both envisioned, and I perhaps a little too enthusiastically showed him pictures of rings I admired. I've always been drawn to the elegance of a Marquise diamond and the way it catches the light. Then came the phone call. Alex's voice was buzzing with an almost childlike excitement. "Mia," he said, "you're not going to believe what I just did. I just placed the biggest order I've ever made on Amazon." "Oh? What is it?" I asked, a mix of curiosity. "It's an engagement ring," he blurted out. My breath hitched. I wasn't expecting him to just announce it like that. I wanted the surprise, the romance. "I see," I said, already a little deflated. He went on, detailing the price, a sum he seemed particularly proud of. I tried to brush it off, telling him it didn't matter, but the fact that he felt the need to quantify his affection with a dollar amount already felt a little off. "Well, since you know," he said, "want to see a picture?" I hesitated, then agreed. I figured, what's the point of holding back now? The picture arrived, and my heart sank. It was not what I expected. Not even close. The ring was bulky, with a cluster of stones that looked cheap and gaudy. The band was thick and unrefined. It looked like something out of a costume jewelry box. I tried to find something positive to say, but all I could manage was a strained, "Oh, it's interesting." Alex's tone shifted, a hint of defensiveness creeping in. "What? You don't like it?" "It's just not really my style," I said, trying to be gentle. "I was thinking something more delicate, maybe a Marquise cut." He huffed. "Well, it was $1,000. That's when the real red flags started waving. Something compelled me to use the reverse image search on Amazon. Within seconds, the exact same ring popped up, priced at just over $500. "Alex," I said, my voice tight, "it's not $1,000. It's half that." The silence on the other end of the line was deafening. He stammered, trying to explain, but the words were hollow. It wasn't about the money, it was about the lie. It was about the lack of genuine effort. Then I noticed the size. It was huge, clearly several sizes too big. I asked about the material, worried about my sensitive skin, and he shrugged, admitting he hadn't checked. There were no reviews for the company. Nothing. I felt a wave of disappointment wash over me, a deep, aching sadness. It wasn't just about the ring, it was about what it represented. It was about the feeling that after 4 years, 2 children, and countless shared moments, he still didn't know me. It was about the sense that he saw me as someone who could be easily impressed with a flashy, cheap trinket. I thought about the years of compromise, the sacrifices I'd made, the way I'd poured my heart and soul into our family. And in that moment, looking at that ugly ring on my phone screen, I felt a profound sense of loneliness. Later that night, after the kids were asleep, I sat down with Alex. I told him how I felt, and how the lack of thought behind it had made me question everything. I told him I needed to take some time to think, to figure out if we were truly compatible. He was hurt. He accused me of being materialistic and not appreciative of his gesture. But it wasn't about the gesture. It was about the lack of genuine connection, the feeling that I was settling for something less than I deserved. I told him I needed space. I needed to figure out if I could build a future with someone who didn't seem to truly see me. I needed to know if I could trust him to be honest, thoughtful, and genuinely loving. Am I being unreasonable? Maybe. But deep down, I know that this moment has revealed a deeper truth about our relationship, and I can't ignore it anymore. Update, the aftermath and the uncertain path forward. It's been a week since the ring incident, as I've started to call it in my head. Alex has been present physically, but emotionally distant. He's trying, I think, but his attempts feel clumsy, like he's following a script he doesn't quite understand. He's bought flowers that usually would have made me smile, but now, they just feel like a performative apology, a way to gloss over the deeper issues. He's also tried to engage more with the kids, which is good, but even that feels a little forced. The ring itself is still in its Amazon box, sitting on the kitchen counter like a physical manifestation of our fractured relationship. I haven't touched it and Alex hasn't mentioned it. It's become an unspoken presence in our shared space. I've spent a lot of time thinking and replaying our 4 years together. I've realized that the cracks in our foundation were always there, just hidden beneath the surface of our daily routine. There were the little lies, the dismissive comments, and the times he prioritized his own needs over mine. I always excused them, telling myself that no relationship is perfect, that we were just different people with different communication styles. But the ring, it was a catalyst. It forced me to confront the reality that I was settling, that I was accepting less than I deserved. I started to wonder if I had lowered my expectations so much that I didn't even know what I wanted anymore. It wasn't just about me either. It was about the children, about creating a stable and loving environment for them. I thought about the example I was setting for my children, about teaching them to accept less than they deserve. I started talking to a therapist. It's been helpful to have an objective perspective, someone to help me unpack the tangled mess of my emotions. She's helped me realize that my feelings are valid, that it's okay to want more, to expect more. Alex has suggested couples counseling and I've agreed to go. I want to give him a chance to see if we can salvage our relationship. But I'm also realistic. I know that some wounds run too deep and some bridges can't be rebuilt. I've also started to consider what my life would look like without Alex. The thought used to fill me with dread, but now it feels liberating. I've started making plans and thinking about my own goals and dreams, things I put on hold for the sake of our relationship. The future is uncertain and I'm still grappling with a lot of conflicting emotions. But one thing is clear, I'm no longer willing to settle. I'm no longer willing to accept a love that feels half-hearted, a love that doesn't truly see me. I'm ready to prioritize my own happiness, my own well-being, and the well-being of my children. And if that means walking away, then so be it. Last update. A month has passed since my last update, a month of navigating uncharted territory and therapy sessions, awkward conversations, and a slow rebuilding of our relationship. The biggest symbolic gesture, one that honestly took me by surprise, happened after our first couples therapy session. Alex took the Amazon box containing the ring and returned it. "I don't want it," he said, his voice quiet but firm. "It was a mistake, and I'm ready to move on." It was a small act, but it felt significant. It was a tangible acknowledgement of his misstep. Therapy after that has been intense. We've delved into our communication patterns, our expectations, and the underlying issues that contributed to the ring fiasco. Alex has been surprisingly receptive, listening more than he ever has before. He's been honest about his own insecurities, his fear of inadequacy, and his tendency to take shortcuts. He admitted that the ring was a panicked attempt to prove his love, a misguided effort to meet my expectations without truly understanding them. We've talked about the importance of genuine affection and the difference between grand gestures and thoughtful actions. We've explored the ways we can express our love in ways that are meaningful to each other. I've learned that I need to be more clear about my needs, and he's learned that he needs to be more present and attentive. There have been moments of frustration, moments of doubt where I've questioned whether we can truly overcome the damage that's been done. But there have also been moments of connection, vulnerability, and genuine understanding. We've started having date nights again, simple things like cooking dinner together or watching a movie after the kids are asleep. Alex has been making a conscious effort to be more thoughtful. He's paying attention to the little things, like remembering my favorite tea or asking about my day without prompting. He's also been more present with the kids, engaging in their playtime and taking a more active role in their routines. The kids been more relaxed, their laughter echoing through the house with a newfound joy. I'm still cautious of falling back into old patterns, but I'm also hopeful. I'm seeing a side of Alex that I haven't seen before, a side that's willing to learn, to grow, and to change. We're taking things slowly, focusing on rebuilding our friendship, strengthening our communication, and creating a foundation of trust. We're not rushing into any big decisions. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm willing to give us a chance. I'm willing to see where this journey takes us, and for the first time in a long time I feel a glimmer of hope. Thanks for all the advice, Reddit.